Hey guys, this is Carrie, and in this video we're going to be doing an intro to JavaScript where we learn the third programming language that we'll need to make our front-end web applications. So we've got our Sublime Text code open, and we've got our code open in a web browser. Now, before we jump into adding JavaScript to this file, let's just review something that we know how to do. If we wanted to add style to the document, we're going to be using the second programming language that we learned, not HTML, but CSS. And the way you embed CSS into an HTML document is in the head of the document, you create an HTML tag that says style. And then once you do that, inside of the opening and closing style tags, you can start styling by saying select the H1 element and add a font family of sans serif, for example. This code inside here is in CSS, and we're embedding it internally in the file by using these two style tags right here. So we give it a save and a refresh, and we can see that style is being applied. We're going to be doing JavaScript in this very similar way. But instead of adding style tags to the head of the document, we're going to be adding script tags to the body of the document. JavaScript always goes in the body of the document, and it goes right before the closing tag for the body. So we'll add sc, and then you can autocomplete for JavaScript. And just like we planned, it's right before the closing body tag at the end of the body. So in JavaScript today, we're going to be learning two different functions. We're going to start off with the easiest function in JavaScript. A function is something that does something inside of the code. So one function that we're going to learn is alert. And let's just say hello to our user. So similar to CSS, where each statement ends with a semicolon, in JavaScript, every statement ends with a semicolon as well. So give that a save, and let's see that JavaScript in action. Refresh it. Whoa! Okay, so we get this alert hello. And now it loads our page. So you can alert many things on a page. Hello, goodbye, always ending with a semicolon. You can alert multiple words. But one thing you'll notice is the sentence that we're alerting has to go in quotes. So let me show you what happens with these three. Alert, another alert, and then alert, blah, blah, blah. If we try to alert without putting the sentence inside, in quotes, then let's see what happens. Give it a save. I'm going to delete that red thing. And then we reload it, and nothing will alert. We're actually getting an error from our JavaScript. So make sure that when you create your alert function, the sentence that you're alerting, or the word you're alerting, goes in quotes. And this should remind you a little bit of Algebra 2, where you're running the alert function with hello as the input. So hello will be the thing that's done with the alert. Now, in addition to alerting things, alerting is really good for outputting text. You might want to get information from the user. So we're going to prompt them with a question. So a prompt is like an alert, but it says something like, what is your name? So if we give it a save, oh, don't forget your semicolons. Give it a save and a refresh. We first alert hello, and then the next thing we ask a question by using this prompt function. And it says, what is your name? And it gives you a chance to answer Carrie, and then press OK, and it loads. So you can ask as many questions as you want. And as long as you end them with semicolons, save it, refresh it, hello. Is that an alert or a prompt? It's an alert because it's just output. Now this is a prompt because it actually asks for information, and this is a prompt because it asks for information. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is I've got a question, which is, it asked me what my name is, and I'd like to be able to use that name. And in order to do this, you start thinking about how a computer might manage all this information. And the way that a computer manages all this information that can change is it actually needs to create a place to store that information. And if you think about things that change from math class, you might be reminded of a variable. So the last concept that we're going to introduce before we go into the rest of this is, how do we create a variable? So the way that you can create a variable in JavaScript is the first time you create the variable, you have to say let name equal Carrie. And there's a couple of details that I'm going quickly by here, but I want to emphasize. So let is useful. Let is basically called the declaration keyword. And we're saying I'm going to declare that I'm creating a variable named name. And this word is not in quotes. And the reason why is we're creating a new code word name that's not actually the word name. It stands for the word Carrie. And now when we alert, if we wanted to say Carrie, we don't have to use the word Carrie. We can refer to it by the code word name. So give it a save and a refresh. And when we alert name, since name is in white, it's a code word we defined. It looks to see what is name. Oh, name is Carrie. And then it press OK, and it works. So we want to make a different variable called age. We could say let age equal, sorry, I don't want to get into different types of things, but let age equal 32 in quotes. And then we could alert the age, semicolon. So now we've created two variables. We let something be name, and we let something be age. And age is 32. Okay, so that's cool. You can actually store, many things in a variable. You could store a whole sentence. So let message equal this is a secret message. And then we could alert that message. Not so secret, I guess. So first it alerts name. Oh, name was Carrie. Then it alerts age. Oh, age was 32. Then it alerts message. Oh, message, this is a secret message. And we press OK. Now, I want to show you some limitations on variable names. So I'm going to delete a lot of the extra stuff here. So before we do this the right way, well, actually, let me do this the right way first. So let name equal Carrie. You can actually change the value of name to my dog's name, Sky. And you'll notice that this is actually a little different than the line that came before. And the reason why we no longer need the let word is we've already created the variable name. So that's what let means. Create a variable called name, and then assign to it the word Carrie. And because we've already created name, you're allowed to change the value of name anytime you want. So I can make name equal to Sky. And now when we alert the name, I'm curious, what do you guys think is going to come out from our computer? It's the most recent value, so Sky actually overwrites Carrie. And if we were to change it so that was my dad's name, Frank, first name is Carrie, then name is Sky, and then finally, if I put a semicolon here, the name gets overridden by the word Frank, and it should be alerting the most recent value. Yeah, it does. All right, so for variable names, you actually can create a lot of choices. So variable names can just be words. They can be words with numbers. In general, we want to keep it simple and descriptive, so that wouldn't be a good choice. They can be words with underscores, something maybe like first name. But the reason why we use underscores is you actually cannot have a space in a variable name, so you can't make a variable name that's two words like that. You could make it one word, you could make it with an underscore, but you cannot make it two words. You also can't make a variable name that starts with a number. You can make a variable name that starts with an underscore, although I wouldn't do that very often. So name equals Carrie. In terms of how you create variable names, you can use uppercase or lowercase letters, but it's good practice to use lowercase words all the time when you create variables in any programming language, including JavaScript. So now let's get into the final piece of it. We're able to create variables. Let's make that interact with the user input and output. So instead of making the name a set value like Carrie, we can actually make the name the answer to the prompt. And now what will happen is your computer will run the prompt function and ask you what your name is. And whatever you answer is going to be assigned to the word name. What is your name? Carrie. So when I type in Carrie here and I press OK, Carrie will be stored in the name variable, and then it will alert Carrie out. And that works. And you can ask as many questions as you want. So we have to use let here because I'm going to create a new variable called age. I'm going to prompt and ask, how old are you? And then I'm going to alert out whatever the age is. So I'll give this a save and a refresh. What is my name? Carrie. I'm 32 years old. It goes Carrie. It goes 32. And if we run it again, it's a very versatile website now because I don't have to put Carrie. I could put Sky, my dog, and he's 4, and it will output those as well. So perhaps maybe this makes you think about a website like Facebook where you have to log in and then it customizes to you. They use variables to do that. And so we're using variables in a simpler way, but very similar. All right, so then the last thing is how can we do more complete sentences instead of just name? So let me get rid of age, and let me get rid of this alert. So maybe we want to say not hello, but we want to say hello to the person. So a first attempt at that might look like this. And this has a mistake in it. Let's see what it is. So what is your name, Carrie? And it says hello. Oh, and then it uses the word name. And the reason why it uses the word name is because name is inside of those quotes. So if you want to use the code word name, you have to end your quotes here, and you have to do hello plus whatever name was. And we'll give that, well, actually, before I run it, let's see what happens. This is going to take the word hello, and it's going to add to it whatever the name was. So give it a save and a refresh. My name is Carrie, and it goes, oh, hello, Carrie. And this is something to emphasize with a programming language like JavaScript or any programming language. It does exactly what you tell it to do. So I said take the word hello, and then add to it the word name. I didn't tell it to put a space there. So the way you can change this is you can say take hello with a space, and then add the word name to it. Oops, sorry. What is your name? Carrie. Hello, Carrie. And it's got the space. Reload it. What is your name? Sky. Hello, Sky. So you've got a versatile greeting function. And then if you wanted to do a more complex sentence, like let feeling equal prompt, how are you feeling? Let me actually take this whole line of code and Command X. I'm going to create a chatbot here. And so it first asks for my name, then it says hello to me, then it asks me how I'm feeling, and then it's going to alert out, you are feeling, and then add to that whatever feeling I'm feeling. And then let's have a more complex sentence here. So it's going to add to that a period, and then a space to start a new sentence. I am a robot and feel no feelings. Period. So if we were to give this a save, oh, semicolon, a save and a refresh. One thing to emphasize about code is it's like a recipe. It goes exactly line by line. So we start off here, okay, Carrie. Next thing, we get our alert. Next thing, we let feeling equal the answer to this. You are feeling happy. I am a robot and feel no feelings. Awesome. So we can do a lot with the limited information that we just learned in this video. So in this video, we learned about the alert function that outputs text, the prompt function that outputs a question and gets an input of an answer. We learned how to declare variables with let. We learned how to assign them values with the equal sign. And we also learned how to glue words together by using a plus sign. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you're ready to code in JavaScript in our next class.